welcome and join your blended family to a Monday episode here with us. All the B-fams out there, holla. We are back today talking about connection with a group of people.
Not that. Why does my mind always go? We're talking about
connect groups.
Connect groups. I just went south.
This is going to be a fun episode. You're not going to want to miss this one.
All right, so we're back, and we are, like Randall was saying, we're talking about connect groups. Groups. My mind is out the gutter.
It's out the gutter?
It's out the gutter.
Good. We climbed up on a ladder, cleaned the gutter, and you're good to go.
It's cleaned out, and we're here ready to talk about connect groups.
Well, what is a connect group?
So you might hear connect group in different things. You might hear people say small group, Bible study, life group, and connect group I think is more of the common term that people are using right now. But all it is a group of people coming together, maybe going through the same season of life or learning and studying the same topic at that time. So really it's just what's in the title. It's a group that is connecting. They call it small groups sometimes because it's a small group that is connecting, or they call it life groups because it's groups doing life together.
Or it could be specifically named. So, and we'll kind of get more into that as well. We're going to kind of talk about the benefits that it can have for your blended family and kind of ways that you can make this happen for you and your family, just to be able to grab all that value that there is with these connect groups. But really, it kind of goes back to us whenever we married. Mm-hmm. We both had failed marriages before in the past, and you and I both saw the need to connect in church because we hadn't really before in our previous relationship. So we connected in church. We were connected with church, and we met each other, and it was like, I think you and I both had that mentality of, we don't want another failed marriage. We want to do the best that we can. We want to gain as much information as we can to make things right, because we knew doing it our way didn't work.
Yeah, and we mentioned before, like when Randall and I first married, we were going to two different churches. And so we did two different churches, but together for so long. So when we married, he wasn't really involved in a connect group at that point, but I had been going to a small group, a Sunday school is what we called it in the Methodist church. So I had a Sunday school group of couples that we got together every Sunday before church and talked. And in my previous relationship, I didn't have someone that was willing to go and do any of those. And then I went and I was going to them by myself. And so it was really important to me that I had a partner that would be willing to go and do those things, and just being around all the other couples as well. It wasn't a couples Sunday school class. It just happened to be a lot of couples that attended it, and then a few singles like myself. So I was really excited when Randall came in the picture and to be able to have him there and share in that. And so we did that at my church for a while, but we also jumped in to any and every opportunity that the church that he was attending had for us at the time.
For sure. And I didn't know anything about connect groups or anything about them. I was really just getting back involved in church myself, and just just loving that, just getting really fed, really spiritually growing and things of that nature. But whenever we married, the church that I had been attending to had offered 3 different groups during, I think it was during over the fall. I know it was because we had just married. And so
like the end of August 30th. So it's just rolling into.
Yeah. So in September, they offered 3 different types of groups. And it was like, which one do you want to get involved in? Which one do you want to be a part of? And we were like, man, okay. So one was over money, one was over family, and I forget what the third one was over. It was over something.
One was marriage and one was parenting.
And then money. And so whenever we heard about it, we're like, man, okay, because the church was announcing it, we're going to offer these 3 groups. And we said, man, okay, yeah, we know we need to do something. Yeah. Which one? Because they all sound very important. It's
Yes,
like,
we
check
need
which
that.
one.
We need
I'm
that.
checking them
We need that.
all. Can I attend all 3 at one time? Is that possible? We were kind of in that mindset, but you can't, right? Because they were meeting at the same time. So we really took time to sit back and pray about it and just say, God, where do you, which one? Where do you want us? We're willing to do and move wherever. And so this was really my first experience in a Connect group way back, whenever, that was, a long time ago. But we decided money, let's figure out money, because here we are, two people coming together to where we had both had our finances the way we were doing things before. Now we're trying to mesh all this together.
Well, we really both brought a load of debt into our marriage.
None of us knew how to really handle money. Let's face it. No, they don't teach a lot of that in school. So yeah, that's a whole nother, don't get me off on that,
Yeah.
that topic. But that was just one thing that we decided that we really felt God leading us to. And man, we took FPU and it just, it changed.
If you don't know what FPU is,
yeah,
it's Financial Peace University. It's a Dave Ramsey course.
It's a Dave Ramsey course, and really it was so great. It's such a great course for an intro into money. If you know nothing about it, or you think you do, and you're still kind of, just your finances aren't quite going the way you wish they were, this is such an informative course, and it really led me down a self journey that took a while. But just as a couple coming together, just the values and the way that course was laid out, it was biblical, that, they have scripture going along with it. And just, we learned so much from it, but not just that group of people that we connected with, it was a small group. There were about 4 other couples like us that just wanted to know more about money. And so at that time, it was a longer course. I think it was like 13 weeks then. So it was like for 13 weeks, one time a week, we would go and we would meet as this group. And we just formed some really cool bonds with these people. I mean, we were, met just really nice people, and we were all kind of going through some of the same stuff. We learned so much from each other. Yeah. So, it was just so powerful.
And it was nice for me because I had attended the church, a few times during our dating, the year leading up to our marriage, but I wasn't really in a place, like it wasn't my church. And this was a way to connect with people and create some sort of bonds there in the beginning.
Yeah, for me as well. I mean, even going to church, being a backseat churchgoer is kind of what I was. I just slide in the back during service and then
it's
slide
funny
back
that you
out.
say that, because I didn't really think about that. But yes, you did totally sit in the back. And then eventually, by the time we were leaving
we're like,
the church, we were the front row.
We were front row goers. Just, every season, we edged up a row.
Move up. No, I like to be in the front because I don't have a great singing voice, and I like the band, the worship team, to drown out my singing, but I want to be able to sing at the top of my lungs. And so I need to be in the front row so no one is standing in front of me pierced ears.
But that kind of opened up the door for us to where now we saw a lot of other groups that we were able to connect with, small groups. We've done several groups, Growing Kids God's Way, because we want to be better parents. It's like, and that's such a funny, it was kind of outdated then. So good information, there's some really good information, but there's some outdated stuff. And I remember, I'll never forget the time that, we learned, like, we're supposed to teach our kids the art of respect, right? And that whenever they disagree with something, they come place their hand on your shoulder. They say, "May I appeal?" That's what they were supposed to say.
May I appeal? We were teaching them how to be little lawyers in the making.
Yeah, so that's what we're supposed to do. So we go home and we're all pumped, we're going to get our family right, and our kids are going to be so respectful, and we were just so amped and so like we're just going to have a great family, and then we say we try to teach them that like anytime y'all disagree or something, say, "May I appeal?" And I just remember their looks like, what? That's just stupid. It's like, what does a pill even mean? I don't even know. It's like zoom.
And I think like Devin or someone couldn't even, because Devin had like speech issues when he was younger, and like I don't even think he could pronounce it, and so he would like struggle to even a pill because he didn't know how to
But
say
it was such us being younger parents and trying to, hearing information, being so gung ho and trying to carry everything out. But learn.
I
so
did like
much.
the one though, and I think because you might be morphing like two things together, but it was like they put their hand on their shoulder. If you were talking with another adult or someone else and they needed your attention, but instead of interrupting you, they were supposed to just come and like place their hand on your shoulder and wait for you to acknowledge. And so then you finish your sentence and then you'd be like,
I see you.
I see you. How can I help you?
Yeah.
child?
So no, definitely a lot of value. We kind of laughed because there was a lot of outdated things at that time, and just good stuff.
We were watching the videos in like 2008, and the videos were probably recorded in 1980.
Yeah. So yeah, a little out of date, but yeah, we've done many groups. Holy Spirit. We want to know more about the Holy Spirit. We took a Holy Spirit class, and so it's just all these different groups that are out there. A lot of the groups that we talk about were very church affiliated for us, but there's so many other ways to connect in groups of like-minded people just so that you can grow your knowledge and just, there's so many benefits. Why don't we do that? Why don't we talk about, let's get into the benefits of groups. Why is this so important? Why are we even bringing this up? So,
yeah, I mean, I think the first benefit that's obvious, probably why you sign up for the Connect group, is the information. Like, just like for us, like we're like, okay, we need help in this area. We need help with our finances. Let's take a class where we're learning about it. And someone is teaching us some better ways than what we've known from our past. Or we need help with parenting, then let's sign up and we'll learn some parenting information. So I think the groups in general, whatever topic that they're covering, you're getting that information, you're focused on it. And you have a little bit of an accountability, I guess, when you're doing it with a group of other people, that you're going to show up, because you can read these books or study these things on your own. But a lot of times when we do that, about like week 2, week 3, we just start falling off because
we fall back into the same pattern we might have before. It's easy to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely that gaining information. There's so much out there. I almost look at it like a booster shot. Whenever you need something, you get that booster shot that gives you just a whole lot of it. That way now you can carry that through into your life and help make that some good habits that you're using, that you're putting into your family and stuff. So
yeah, and then like when you're going through whatever that is, so whatever topic you choose, and you're gaining this knowledge with people, but you're with this group of people that all can relate to the same thing that you're going with. That's such a great benefit from these groups, is that everybody's relating on the same thing. So if they signed up for a money class, they're probably struggling a little bit in this area. So maybe when you're like going through it and you want to like give up because you find a part too hard, and y'all are all talking about it, and you realize like, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
They're struggling in that area too. This isn't something that I'm isolated, because the enemy, that is one of his main goals, is he wants you to think that you are a loser, you are no good, and that you're the only one going through this. And so when we're doing life by ourselves, or just even in our own houses, we don't realize that other people, they're struggling just like we are.
Yeah, and I think that's the hardest thing, just as being a human being, to even connect with a group, is because you feel like you're admitting that you have a problem, right? And in order to do that, then you feel like you're just not good enough. And, that's whenever the enemy can really come in. And that's not the truth at all. The truth is that you just want more information on this so you can do better, right? So that, I don't know what I know until I go to school and I learn it, right? So
you don't know what you don't know.
All we're doing is we're doing life without any books. We're trying to figure it out and stumble around. Instead of stumbling, there's somebody who's been there, done that. Why don't I learn what they did? That way I don't have to stumble like they did, right? So it's not that we're failures by any means or that we have problems. We just want to know how to do things even better. That way we're not seeing so many problems, right? So it's actually kind of preventative maintenance in a sense as well too. So yeah, I think that can be a really hard thing for us, is just to get over ourselves and, keep that pride out of it, and then just go and learn, gain this information, connect with, and that is powerful, connecting with people that are they're going through the same stuff. They're just wanting to know too. Yeah. They got similar stories. You're finding out, hey, I'm not alone in this. But it also makes you show up better as an individual, right? Yeah. It makes you show up. I know every time, like whenever we did the money course, right? Now we showed up better financially. We were honestly just throwing this out there. We went to get a mortgage loan a while later. We saved up and tried to do things right after we had heard all this information. And we had lived in a super small house, one bedroom, or not one bedroom.
One bedroom. Oh, a blended family in one bedroom. That's probably guys, like it's CBS case.
Really close. But yeah, one bathroom, should I say, and 5 people, one bathroom. And we did that. We did that for a while, and it was like, but we had ambitions to get a bigger home, but we wanted to do things right and kind of get all of our ducks in a row, so they say. And after doing this, we were able to get out of debt. We were able to start saving money. And whenever we went to the loan officer for the new house, I will never forget what she said to us, because it kind of made me feel good. I was like, all right. But she looked at our credit reports and everything, and she's like, I don't ever see this. She was like, this is so weird. Y'all have no debt. How do y'all do it? And yeah, a lot of work. Our debt to credit ratio was just like crazy, because we didn't at that time. We had really got out of debt. We just focused on that, and it was just an amazing feat that we did. And whenever we got to that point, for her to say that, it's like, man, it's like all the hard work paid off, and we set ourselves up to where we could achieve better, but we wouldn't have been able to do it had we not gotten the information from a silly little course. So that was the power of these groups, these connect groups, and that's just talking money, right?
Yeah, like I'm currently in a group with other women that we have this, we're in the same stage of life and stuff, and we talk marriage and we talk kids on a daily basis. All of us are pretty close to empty nesters. Most of our kids have just graduated high school, and when we start talking about things, talking about parenting, talking about being a good wife. And we may laugh and joke and make fun of our husbands a little bit, or situations that we're going through. It's just funny stuff to laugh at.
I don't know.
No, okay. Side note that the ladies say they're going to invite Randall, because they will tell stories about how their husband doesn't take care of the things at the house, or they're they're oblivious to the things that need to be taken care of and cleaned and all of that. And I'm like, guys, I'm the husband in this situation, and Randall's the one that when they're talking, I can just hear oh, that's what Randall thinks about me. That's what I think. And so I was telling them, and they're like, we're going to invite Randall next week. You're out.
So next time it's going to be a girls plus one guy group.
Plus one guy.
We're just going to vent.
But for real though, when we start sharing our stories, for one, like we're saying, we see that we're not alone and that we're all going through the same stage, but we encourage each other so that when we go back to our house, that we are being better wives and we are being better moms, because we are remembering the things that we learned from the study. We're taking biblical principles of what a good wife and a good mom, like how we should handle certain things, and we encourage each other in those things. So it builds us up and it makes us better.
Yeah. And same with taking the parenting courses and stuff like that. It was good. We were able to show up. We gained some really valuable nuggets that we were able to help put into our family that made us just better parents, better parents for our kids, because we learn more. And, unfortunately at that, and we'll get into that later, it didn't really fit our blended family. And that's a whole nother discussion. A lot of the churches and things, it's more for nuclear families, and that's kind of what this course was. And at that time, we didn't even know the difference, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But we tried to apply their stuff to our situation, and a lot of it just didn't.
A lot of it didn't connect. Some did, some didn't. But, you do, though. All these courses, you just show up better as a better person, a better parent, a better spouse. It just really benefits all of us, our kids. It benefits our home. So it really is. And then on top of that, kind of the last part of the benefit is friendships. Because every time that you connect into a small group, it's more intimate, to where you can ask more questions. You get to hear from them. They're listening to you. You're listening to them. It's kind of a back and forth type thing. And then normally you're following a resource or a guideline or something. So you might listen to a little bit of that and then you discuss it. It's like, well, what does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? And, everybody's got a little different takes from it. So you're able to share and bounce ideas off. So you build friendships.
I will say that's probably me being an extrovert and being social. Like, that's my favorite part. Yeah. Like, I'll show up for the friendships, and then all the others is like added benefits from it. But I love the friendships that are built from that. And then just another part of that with friendships is even like sort of a mentorship as well that's built into that, especially if you grew up in a house where maybe you didn't have certain things modeled to you from as far as, if it's the money situation, or you might not have had a father in your life or a mother figure in your life, or they just didn't do parenting the way, that was benefiting you growing up. You can do these classes with other people and you get to experience and learn from other people and what that should look like.
Yeah. Hey, B fam, we'll be back in just a minute. Check this out. Have you joined our Enjoying Your Blended Family email group yet? It's a free thing to be a part of. This is another great way for us to stay connected. We send out an email once a week that is blended family specific. We share all kinds of encouragement and keep you informed with anything that's coming up. You'll be one of the first ones to know. It's a great family community to be a part of. But when you join our group, we want to give you our new free This or That blended family game. Well, we added 2 more bonus games, so really you're getting 3 games you can play with your family. These games are easy and fun, but they can also help you discover things that you have in common with each other. It can open up fun conversations and really just give you ideas for planning fun things to do in the future with your family. We truly believe that the more fun you have together, the less problems you can see. So join our Enjoying Your Blended Family group today and get your free copy of our new This or That blended family games. The link is in the show notes, so see you there. Now back to this episode. Yeah, and it really is. There's so many benefits from that, and I think a big one too is a lot of times if you talk church related, that whenever you go to a connect group with your church, sometimes you just feel like you're just a person in the crowd. But this makes the church smaller. It now connects you with people from that congregation to where you don't feel alone or you don't feel unnoticed when you're at church, but you're able to connect more with people that are there. And now you're showing up on Sundays or Wednesdays and you got more people to talk to. And it's like, hey, how are you doing? And
I remember that really after fun. Taking that first class, then when we walk in on Sunday, it would be we'd come and we'd sit and we'd get up and we would leave. But then it's like you see them from across the room and they're waving to you. And so you wave to them and y'all come and y'all chit chat for a minute about something. And it's like, oh, somebody knows my name. Somebody knows I'm here, especially if you're going to a larger church.
Everybody knows your name. Dun, 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 dun.
There you go.
There it is. So you're not walking into a bar. You're walking into church. So there it
we
is.
Need to play like a Enjoying Your Blended Family podcast game where every time Randall busts into song, you take a drink.
Of coffee.
If this was Cheers, but it's not.
It's not.
So.
It's not. So those are a lot of the benefits. There's so many benefits from these connect groups. That's kind of why we felt it important to share that. It's been so valuable in our lives. It's been so valuable in our marriage, in our family, in our home. It's grown our relationship with each other, and it's grown our relationship with God. So there's just so much power from that. But let's talk about, okay, it's good. We've established that. Connect groups are good. It's just good.
You should do it. You should do it. Just totally do it.
So yeah, they're good. So how are ways that we can connect? What? Let's talk about that. If you're like, okay, this is new concept to me. I've never connected with any groups. Is church the only way? So
I mean, I would definitely say start with church, just because that is somewhere that you're going, or if you're going to church and you're attending.
And if not, we recommend church.
Yes, we just did a podcast on that as well. So I think it was last week. So you can go back and listen to that. But if you're in church, this is going to be, like Randall said, this is going to be a way that's going to make the church that is big, make it smaller, and make those connections in there. So most of the time, churches are offering some sort of groups. So start there.
Yeah, there will be some of the common ones that you'll see at a local church, you're going to have your ladies group. Those are always really big, and normally they're connecting because ladies are definitely a lot more social than guys most of the time. So most of them will always have a ladies group. Some churches will offer a good men's group. A lot of times they're a little different in the way that they do things. So guys groups, I think we connect more over activities and doing things, whereas ladies connect more on the social level of just hanging out and talking. So, sometimes there's differences, and then there's times for both, right? So, and then you've got your family groups, you've got your parenting groups, you got your money groups, your churches, different churches will offer different things. And a lot of times it's on different seasons. So we all go through different seasons in our life. Mm-hmm. And so it's really being able to find out what season are you in and what do you need.
Yeah.
For us, whenever we just came together and got married, we needed to know about money stuff. We wanted to do it right there. So, that was a big deal for us. So we were looking, it just happened that the money group was there and we decided to do that. So
yeah, there was a group here not long ago, and it was that I joined. They always met on Mondays, but I just joined in with them, and they were really digging deep onto like spiritual warfare. And that was something I was just very interested in the season that I was in. I was ready to take my faith to like another level, because that was just something that was just like beyond my knowledge. So during that season, I signed up and I went over there, and I was sitting around with some 70 and 80-year-olds, but hey, I learned a lot. I learned a lot because they are much wiser than I am. They have lived a lot more life than I have, and they've experienced more. And so they were able to feed into me during that season what I was needing.
Kind of like that mentorship you were talking about before. So yeah, different seasons, you're going to be looking for different things. So it's really, what are you looking for? And big one's to pray about it. If you're seeing something that you and your spouse or you and your family need, or you personally need, pray about it. Say, God, I need to be able to connect with somebody. Can you help me find a group, and really just going to prayer over that can help. But there are so many more ways to be able to connect besides just church. There's all types of online groups.
Yeah, I mean, with this day and age, especially right now, there is so much happening virtually. So, I mean, I prefer, if I can, to meet in person, but I've also learned the benefit and the value of meeting socially online. I mean, Zoom changed the game when we had to start using it that way. And I would have never, I always thought of it as like a work thing, but to get on there and connect with other people going through the same thing that you're going through online, like it feels like you know them. It feels like you know their life and everything, because you are sitting there and you're talking and you're opening up and you're getting to see each other in that way. So it is and a lot of them are happening like in real time, because there are still some online connect groups that maybe you're just watching a video and then you're studying it on your own, and maybe they're just talking to you. But there's also like where you're coming together as a group and you are all being able to discuss with each other.
And one of the big things that is more common here lately is whatever your interest is, there's a group. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times you'll see groups to where it's paid groups. Some will be free groups, things of that. And then a lot of times it's following a trainer or a coach or a professional in that field or whatever might have some type of course, but then they connect you to a private group, like a Facebook group, to where now you hear some of the information, and then now you're virtually online, whether it's Facebook or, whatever social media platform that they're using. Now you're connecting with all the people that are in that group and talking over the material or sharing your wins, sharing your struggles, things of that nature. So it really the online world has opened it up to where it's so much more versatility, to where you can find just about any group that you're wanting to connect with. I mean, even down to hobbies. Say you have a hobby or an interest in something. Maybe you're starting a business. There's all kinds of business groups out there.
Maybe you love to sew. There is a group out there that gathers online to learn to sew and
you virtually sew. No, I'm kidding.
You are sewing in real life, and then you are talking with each other virtually.
Is that how? Okay.
So they don't have to be all
so group.
They don't have to be all like so in depth, you know, like we're talking about where it's connected to a church or it's connected to the Bible. Like we love studying into that and we love being around other believers because, you know, we have the same beliefs. But there's also just other areas. If you're into golfing, like join the golf.
Join a golf group.
Yeah.
So there's so many different online groups. And then if you don't find a group, or maybe you're interested in something enough, or maybe your church doesn't offer something that you're needing, you could be a facilitator. And a facilitator does not mean that you know everything. You don't have, you know, a facilitator is basically saying, I'm just going to be like the game show host. I'm going to I'm going to hit the play button when it's time to hit the play button.
If you have a working finger that can push a button.
Yeah. So most of the time what you're doing is you're following a resource of some type. A lot of times they're like videos, and then you get group questions. So really being a facilitator, all you're doing is just facilitating, organizing it, right? You're hitting, okay, we're going to watch this video now. Here, let me hit the play. And then that's done. Hey, awesome, guys. Let's grab a drink. Let's go grab a snack, whatever. And then
those are the best groups that provide drinks and snacks.
Yeah, I'm telling you. And then, hey, guys, okay, let's form a circle. Hey, let me read these questions. Go. So, you know, I mean, that's all a facilitator is doing there. And we've actually been facilitators for quite a few things.
Yeah, several different things.
In fact, the Financial Peace University, we were facilitators on that for quite some time because we learned so much and we went through so much that not just being able to facilitate it, but being able to add our experience along with it.
Well, and it kept us accountable because it's like each of these things, you learn so much, but you can't learn everything. And you're at a certain season in your life. And then the next time you start facilitating, you are able to build on that and just keep it going. You're
engulfing yourself into the material all the time. So it keeps it fresh and everything. So no, powerful stuff. But as we were talking about, we're kind of wrapping up now, but as we were talking about before, you know, we took a Growing Kids God's Way, and that was for the nuclear family. And that's what we're seeing, what we have been seeing in churches is a lot of the parenting, a lot of the family stuff is more for that nuclear family. It doesn't take in all the blended family challenges that come up. It's not really made for blended families a lot. It's what we're seeing now. There is starting to be a shift. I think the more and more we're talking about blended families, the more and more we're starting to see this take root. So hopefully over the years to come, we'll see more blended family specific groups.
And like we're not bashing, I mean, because they're trying to meet the whole, right? They're trying to cover that so that anybody can take it. But I remember us being desperate in our blended family journey, and it was hard. And so we went to our pastors and we talked to them about it, and they connected us with like she wasn't the secretary, but someone that worked in the office that was from a blended family. Yeah. And she ended up giving us remember those big blue binders?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They were these huge binders with the class and the course inside of it. But like I was saying earlier, when you're doing it on your own, you usually will end up giving up because it's hard or you're busy and it's just, you don't see any of the benefits and those other people cheering you on along the way. So I remember those, I don't think we ever got through those binders. I think they sat and took up a lot of space and collected a lot of dust over the years till we eventually passed them on or threw them out. I don't even know what happened.
Yeah, it was just one of those where it was so much information. It was all,
but it was
you
thick.
had to read it and you had to go through it. And at that time, a lot of times if you're just in the blended family struggles and it says, I need an answer now. I don't have time to sit here and read 500 pages. You know, I need to be able to connect with people that have been there, done that, and be able to ask some questions. So that's kind of what we were looking for. And at that time, there was nothing really available for us. So that's kind of, I love now. I love where we're at and kind of seeing the blended family realm kind of taking face, right? And being more known, being more out there. We are starting to see some churches that are willing to take on, or not take on, but to offer blended family groups, because it's hard in a church. They're just trying to, a lot of times they're just struggling to even get a men's and ladies group going, right? Because there's just not enough people to facilitate these things. So, you know, that hopefully over the years we'll see more and more of this, and more resources will come out, making it easier and easier for churches and to be able to connect. But right now, kind of as we are, like what we're doing is we're offering our Facebook group. So if you're not a part of our Enjoying Your Blended Family Facebook group, jump into that. We've got a Facebook page, but we also have the group that is inside the page. And that's where we try to connect with each other, and we try to have that group feel. But that's also where you'll stay connected with a lot of the things that we're doing. We are fixing to open up a small group class where we are wanting to do one here that's face-to-face for all the local people.
Yeah, if you live in Brazoria County, Texas.
Yeah, Texas, then, we're looking at starting up one here, but then we're also wanting to do something virtual as well. So whenever you jump into our Facebook group, that's where you're going to find a lot of the information when we're going to start doing these, or, when we get everything ready, we'll start letting the group know first. That way we can connect there. And it's just like-minded people, right? It's blended families that are going through challenges, have been through challenges. It's a place where you can ask questions. It's a place where you can DM us or, message us, things of that, just where we can stay connected. We continue to, even in the groups, we try to pour value and stuff in there to be able to stay connected. So right now we're looking at doing that. So that's really, if you haven't done that, as we're wrapping up, do that. Be a part of that if you're on Facebook. If not, find us on Instagram. We're there as well. Join our email list. We have that down in the show notes, because every week, I don't think I've shared this before, and just those who may not know about it because you're not in our email list, every week I send out, me and Scarlett both, but I kind of prepare it and everything. Yeah. I send out a personalized email that is just topic specific. I really do. I spend some time and I'm just like, God, what do you want me to say? What can I share? What kind of resource or whatever? And we really try to pour a lot of value and information as well into our emails. So if you're not a part of our email list, there is a link in our show notes that says join our email list, join our newsletter. And that's what that is. Really, all you're doing is you're putting your email in, and then you're a part of the group. You're in there, and you'll start receiving our weekly emails. And then anytime we have something come up, that's another way we communicate, is through email as well. So if you're looking for a Blended Family Connect group, there are many out there. If you've got one right here, if you'd like to join us as well, then join our group. We've got our private Facebook group. Private. Yeah, it's a private Facebook group. We got our Facebook group, and then we got our email list, and that's really where we're able to connect on a deeper level. So
the reason we're doing this small group is because so many of you guys have reached out and said, like, hey, do you know of a small group in this area? Or, hey, do you know of an online small group? Like, you guys are asking for it, and we know that there's just not a lot out there. So we wanted to do this as a way of providing that value to you that is searching for that and wanting that connect group and giving back to something that we didn't have when we were raising our family.
For sure. And like we said, there's so many different, there are other groups and things out there, blended family stuff. We're seeing more and more of it, and it's all good. So it's all good. We're just another group that you're able to connect with. And, like us, we would connect with many groups. If we're interested in an area or we're needing to know more, I don't just stop with one place. It's kind of like getting all your news from one source, right? I mean, sometimes I'm reaching out to a lot of different places.
Well, we're super excited because coming up here pretty soon, we're interviewing Blended Kingdom Family, and they have made it their mission to empower churches to create these groups, to teach on these groups and empower the pastors inside of churches, and then just, people like us, people like you that need a group, but they don't know where to start. And so they've been putting together things to empower in that way. So we'll be interviewing them here coming pretty soon. And I'm excited to share that information with you.
I love what they're doing. I love their hearts and their mission behind that. And it's going to be awesome being able to connect with them as well. So that's just, groups are powerful. We can't express that enough. It has done wonders for our family. We would not be as far along as we are without them. So, if you're really kind of going through a lot of challenges, blended family challenges, then I just encourage you, find groups, get connected here, get connected in other places, and just stay connected and continue gaining that value and that wisdom and stuff. Not saying that you're doing anything wrong, but the more that we can gain information, the better we become, the better we show up for our families, the better parents we become, the better our kids will do. So, ultimately that's what it's all about, is just keeping our families strong, healthy, and that connect groups are just one great way to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited for y'all getting connected.
Connect. So yeah, connect in our Facebook group and then join our email group. Join that email list and let those be 2 places. If you're not already involved there, go jump in those. It's really good stuff, and we'll see you in it. So listen.
Yeah, I know. How cool is that? Like, we may get to, we sit here and we talk, and y'all are listening or watching, but like, we can come together and get to know each other.
No doubt.
Have that same relationship like that we're talking about. So that just gets me excited. I like friends.
For sure. She does. She's a social butterfly. I'm a little social butterfly. So, yeah, that's who she is.
Thank you for that Irish accent and butterfly analogy.
Well, listen, we love you guys. Y'all be blessed, connect, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.
Later. Hey, thanks for joining us today for another episode of Enjoying Your Blended Family. All the links we've talked about today, they're in the show notes below. If you've enjoyed listening, be sure to subscribe below. It's free, and it lets you know when we have another episode for you to listen to.
And if you want to help us out, leave us a rating and review so that we can keep reaching more people. Until next time, remember to enjoy the moment.